Puzzle YouTube. What's up? How's it going, everybody? So quickly want to apologize yesterday for no upload. For those of you following on Twitter, you will know why I wasn't able to upload yesterday. Long story short, just a lot of car issues, came home tired, had to do some other stuff with some other people as well. So yeah, apologize about that. We will definitely be back on the grind though. Actually, if I would have uploaded yesterday, you would still technically be on the grind. I don't know. You guys get what I'm trying to say. I'll definitely have a battle up again tomorrow though. So this match was against Pain off of my Discord server. This match actually turned out to be very, very fun. And PU for me is always fun, like using some fun stuff in the tier. And this team, I think I just kind of threw together. The pacement of it will be down in the description if you guys want to try it out. Again, just a very fun team. But going into this match, the scariest things I saw on my opponent's side of the field were going to be the Executor and Shedinja. However, though, I overlooked one very, very scary mon. And you're going to see just exactly how painful it is to deal with in this game. So if you guys do enjoy the video, make sure to hammer arm that thumbs up button down below and answer the comment question of the day, which was up at the beginning of the battle, should be up also at the end of the battle. So funnily enough, we both end up leading with Silvally-Fairies, and I was hoping that I would be slower because unfortunately by me outspeeding him and going for the parting shot, now I have to risk switching in something to either take a parting shot or an offensive move, or in this case a toxic. And the toxic on my Swanna is actually going to prove to be very, very annoying, because if he's able to get up the rocks, then that's going to make my Swanna be a lot less potent to his team potential, because I'm Scarf Swanna and it's the revenge killer of this team here. So I'm just going to go for the Liquidation. I didn't want to go for the Brave Bird because of the toxic, and I didn't want to wear myself down too much. So if he is able to get up rocks, hopefully they aren't going to affect my Swanna that badly. Like, I need to be careful on how exactly I bring in my Swanna. As he parting shots into the muck, I look down at my team and I have like nothing that switches into this thing. I completely overlooked muck, and as you can see here, I'm straight to a KO'd. I'm gonna be honest, I was kind of hoping to maybe get a burn here. If I can get a burn on this muck, then it's not going to be as big of an issue, but I don't, and he's going to go for a second one, but I am able to live. But if he does have the Shadow Sneak, he is going to be able to pick me off here. So he ends up hard switching out into the Shedinja, which has me thinking maybe he doesn't have the Shadow Sneak, because if he did have it, I think he definitely should have gone for it, as he makes a smart switch here into the Shedinja. I don't have a single move on my Lanturn to hit the Shedinja, but I do have my Silvally-Fairy in the back and even my Gurdurr to be able to deal with the Shedinja. And if I'm able to break the stash, then I can revenge kill it with my Swanna. As I go for the Flamethrower here, he is going to switch into his own Silvally once again. As we saw earlier, I am going to be faster than him, so I will be able to Flamethrower him. No, he ended up doubling into his Silvally-Fairy as I brought in my Silvally-Fairy, and then I Flamethrower him as he goes for the parting shot. So I'm trying to chip down Silvally-Fairy as much as possible, but unfortunately Muck is just coming in here for free, and much like I don't have a switch into Muck. I did not realize that apparently my team gets bodied by Muck. So hopefully if I lose my Lanturn here, I can bring in my Mesprit to try to force him out and get on my Stealth Rocks. At least by getting up the rocks, I can also take out the Shedinja in the back. If I apply enough pressure to the Silvally, I can hopefully prevent it from going for the Defog, because I'm pretty sure he's going to have Defog on Silvally for that Shedinja that he does have in the back here. So I believe I do just end up getting up my rocks here, because there's no real reason for him to stay in here. He clearly knows that Muck is very difficult for me to switch into, as I will be able to safely go for the U-turn here. I thought that maybe this is going to be like Specs or Trick Room or something. No, it turns out that he's Harvest Citrus Berry, and this can kind of go either way here, because if I'm not mistaken, it is only a 50% chance to get your berry back with Harvest. So if I don't get unlucky with the Harvests, then I should be in a good spot here. So I'm going to bring in my Alola and Raticate here, and I end up making a big misplay. I should have not gone for knockoff here. I definitely think I should have gone for the Pursuit, because even after the Giga Drain damage, he is still going to be in range of where an Adamant Choice Banded Hustle Pursuit would have been able to most likely knock him out, judging for how much damage my U-turn did from my Mesprit, and my Mesprit was at minus attack, as where this again is Adamant Choice Banded. So that was a really big misplay on my part. I could have definitely trapped and got rid of the Executor there, but I am still able to do some decent damage to the Silvally here as it switches in. But this does now allow him to go for the defog, which is what I was trying to prevent. So I just kind of ended up shooting myself in the foot there. At least if I was able to get rid of the executor, apparently I can't say the name, then I at least got something out of it. But I didn't really get anything out of that exchange by me going for the knockoff there. So yeah, just really big misplay on my part, but it's not game changing. We definitely do still have a chance in this matchup here. So expecting him to maybe think I would go for a liquidation and try to bring in Shedinja, I go for the Brave Bird here, as I still do some pretty decent damage to the Marshtomp here. And he most likely is going to want to get up his rocks at this point. He knows I'm getting worn down. He probably knows that I'm scarfed at this point too, because I don't think Swanna naturally outspeeds Silvally if he's max speed. Correct me if I'm wrong. I actually don't remember the speed of Swanna off the top of my head. Actually, it might be faster. I don't really know. It's PU. I don't know too much about the PU mons here, and I expected way too much from Alola and Raticate here, man. I really wish that the double edge had knocked out the Marshtomp there. That would have been so great. Then again, I know for a fact Marshtomp is insanely bulky with the Eviolite there, so I'm not surprised. A little let down though. I really thought that with Adamant Choice Banded Double Edge Hustle boosted, I would have been able to finish him off, but it's not that big of an issue, as I will be able to get up my rocks here. As in comes the Shedinja. I don't have a move to hit this Shedinja with at all, so I'm basically forced to bring in my Gurdurr here, because my Swanna in the back does not take a +2 Shadow Seek after rocks and toxic damage. At least by bringing in my Gurdurr here, I can try and guarantee Liv anything he wants to go for, as it turns out that he's actually not running max speed on the Shedinja, which is very odd in my opinion, because even though I am able to take this, and I would have been able to take a second one, I don't know why you wouldn't want to run max speed on Shedinja, because you don't even, like, all you need is attack and speed, like Adamant max attack and with max speed. Well, I mean, I guess you could go jump, but typically they're Adamant, so I don't know. That was just a little bit odd to me, but hey, it works out for him because he's able to severely weaken my Gurdurr, and then he kind of makes a huge misplay here by bringing in the Monferno. Maybe he thought he would guarantee knock me out, but he still has the Silvally-Fairy in the back, and then he could have brought that in and saved this Monferno for later in the match, because he most likely was scarfed because we didn't see Life Orb damage, and that wasn't banded damage at all. So he does end up bringing in the Silvally here. I'm just going to go for the Mach Punch, I think, just trying to get off a little bit of damage on this thing. With him having Muck in the back and him having that Executor left as well, this Gurdurr is not really going to be doing too much in this game, and maybe I could have possibly lived the hit if he wasn't running the multi-attack, but it turns out that he is, as I will end up bringing in my own Silvally-Fairy once again, because I am faster than him, or at least I'm pretty sure I'm faster than him, because I've been outspeeding him every single time. So I can definitely just go for a Flamethrower, Thunderbolt, or anything I want, really, and pick that off. But he's actually going to decide to sack off the Marshtomp, which is kind of nice because I think the Silvally can still live another Stealth Rock switch in, so maybe he wants to try to get off a last-ditch effort Defog, or just try to sack it off to something, as he's going to bring back in this Muck. Oh my... This thing is just terrifying, man. I have to get out of here. Like, there's no way I should stay in on this Muck, in my opinion. Although, I guess maybe looking back at it, it wouldn't have been entirely too bad. But I think the main reason I wanted to keep my Silvally-Fairy was because I do have the Flamethrower to hit his Silvally and hit his Executor. So that way, once I weaken or get rid of this Muck, then it's going to be a lot easier for me to beat. So unfortunately, he ends up getting the Poison Touch there. That does kind of suck, although in the long run of the match, I'm not too sure how much it matters. And I end up making another kind of bad play here, questionable play, honestly. I guess it could have been like 50-50, but it made a lot of sense for him, again, to not leave in the Muck. Like, I thought that maybe this time he would expect me to expect him to switch, so that's why I stayed in, hoping that I could catch the Muck. But he ends up making the safe switch into the Executor here, which gets its Citrus Berry back, and then his Harvest activates, and because he was below 50%, he's going to be able to get back up to almost, not almost full, but close to full, I suppose, like 80-ish%. So if he didn't get that Harvest right there, a U-turn definitely would have been great, I think. Although I guess he could have still switched out here into Silvally, which actually ends up going down to the Stealth Rocks, and at this point, because of the Toxic he got on me, I'm starting to get severely worn down, and I'm basically in range of where anything from Muck's gonna knock me out. I'm pretty sure he does have the Shadow Seek at this point, so he's gonna be able to finish me off here as he ends up knocking me out. So this is kind of looking really bad for me. I have only my Scarf Swanna in the back and my Jericho here, as I end up bringing in my Jericho, I thought that maybe switching in the Swanna over Silvally might have been the better play, because I think Brave Bird still would have been able to knock out Mach, and then I at least could have kept my Silvally in the back. But I go for the Flamethrower, maybe hoping to get a burn that could have possibly saved me, but unfortunately he ends up knocking me out there. And at this point, with my last Mon being Swanna, his last 2 Mons being able to be hit by my Brave Bird, if I can maybe live all the recoil, I have a chance to win. But because I didn't Pursuit Trap the Executor earlier in the match, and me being at 11 HP, I am going to go down here as I Brave Bird the Mach. It is a double down, but he does still have the Executor in the back. So yeah, see, that's I really wished I had pursued it, man. I really wish I had pursued the Executor there, because obviously it would have been gone, and then I would have been able to knock out the Mach or deal with the Mach a lot easier as well. But hey, it is what it is. It was a very fun, awesome battle. Alola and Raticate is not as strong as I had hoped, but still hits pretty decently hard. And I hope you guys did enjoy, and if you did, make sure to hammer arm that thumbs up button down below and answer the comment question of the day. And with that being said, guys, I will see you all tomorrow. So thank you all for watching. Later, everybody.
No matter where you're at, I'm not here to make friends, it's time to attack and deplete your HP with a final smash. Don't make me turn around and pull a 6-foot-Hax. 6-foot-Hax, Hax. Yeah. 6-foot-Hax, Hax. 6-foot-Hax, Hax.